And we are rolling.
Hey, everybody. How you
Hey,
guys doing
everybody.
today? So today we have a couple on that we were trying to bring on a couple weeks ago.
Mhm.
We couldn't get our sound together.
Technical
Technical
difficulties.
difficulties. We could hear them. I mean, we couldn't hear them. They can hear us. Come to find out, it was our fault. But we have Lamar and Angela. They are currently living in Mexico. I'm let them tell you what part of Mexico.
Mhm.
And we just want to talk to them about their move, how that's impacted their family, because they move with their family, how that's impacted their relationship.
Mhm.
So I want to get all the 411 on, how this move has gone for them
And how they living their
and how
best life.
living their best life.
Best
So
life.
yes, we're talking a black couple who is living their best life.
Mhm.
So,
They literally said, "Bye, America."
but right, deuces. So anyway, but before we get started, let us introduce ourselves. Welcome to Love Park Connection, where we talk about the pains and pleasures of life, love, and relationships.
Mhm.
My name is Angela Parker.
And I'm Pierre Parker.
We are a husband and wife marriage and relationship coaching duo. We have been married 28 years, together for over 30 years. Damn, it's been that long.
Long
time.
Long.
And it's our goal to help Black couples communicate more, love more, and build healthy long term relationships and marriages.
Mhm.
So let us go ahead and bring on Lamar and Angela.
Yep.
Hey.
Hey, you guys.
Uh-oh. Oh, there we go.
There we go.
Oh.
Not-
Don't scare us, Lamar.
yeah, no, it froze a little bit. We're not on Wi-Fi. We've got a hardwired connection like we did last time. Not
Okay.
sure what happened last time when we were.
The devil was busy.
Yeah.
That's
So
what it was.
yeah.
It's actually human error. That's what it was.
Yeah, but when we recorded the last time, it kept locking up and things like that. And
Yeah.
we've contacted.
Okay. Wait, this
Yeah.
is a techie guy,
Yeah.
so don't let him roam.
Mhm.
Oh, well,
So-
welcome. Thanks for having us. Thanks for
Yeah,
having
thank
us.
you.
We're so
Yeah,
glad to be back.
thank you again for taking your time out another day, because I know you guys have active, busy lives and 2 dogs, and
Yeah.
you still your kids are still at
Three.
home. 3.
3 dogs.
Three
3
dogs?
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Okay.
your life is busy.
Okay.
And-
I thought we was better. We got 2 dogs and a cat. So
Yeah.
yeah, we
But-
feel you.
But then you still have 2 children at home, right?
You do. We do.
Sort of, kind of.
Oh,
Well-
what's that mean? What sort of,
Well,
kinda?
One's here. So Benjamin, our oldest, our son, is here until he goes back to college. So
Oh,
it's
okay.
kind of it's temporary. And then Gabrielle is here, and she will be graduating soon from high school.
And then our
Okay.
oldest is supposed to be joining us later on this afternoon because she's
Okay.
just coming to visit.
Yeah,
So we'll have a
Oh,
full
okay.
house. 3 kids and 3 dogs.
yeah,
Yeah.
A lot of people, a
Lot of
lot of living things in that house.
yes.
Fun.
Yeah.
Oh. So let's first of all go ahead and introduce yourselves.
Mhm.
And then we'll get into the why, what, when, and hows.
Okay. Well, this is my husband, Lamar,
And it's my wife Angela.
and we moved to Querétaro, Mexico. Querétaro with the Q in Mexico in, 2022.
2, yeah.
Previously, before that, we lived in the United States. Had
Mostly
very
in the Maryland area.
yeah, mostly in the DMV.
Oh,
Shout
okay.
out to the DMV.
Yeah.
Had very successful careers and were enjoying success in that way. You know, you've got all the trackings, you've done the degrees, you've got the jobs, you've had the social acolytes in the community, things like that. But we
Yeah.
found ourselves, especially after the pandemic, looking around at our life and the rat race and just kind of wondering, is this it?
Right.
Is this all there
Yeah.
is? We get up, go to work, come home, go to bed. Get up,
Yeah.
go to work, come home, go to
Yeah.
bed. And
Yeah.
this cycle of just trying to exist, and especially in an expensive area like Washington, D.C., it just
Mhm.
felt like it was a never-ending rat race. And so after the pandemic, that really began, or at least that began Lamar questioning, is this what it's all about? Is this what life really is? And so
Yeah, it was eye-opening watching things change for me, and how I was thinking about life, how long,
oh yeah, true. True.
that kind of thing. And so,
Because by the
Yeah.
time the pandemic happened, we had lost his mother in 2015, my dad in 2017, my mom in 2019, and then
Yeah.
his dad in 2020.
right.
Oh
And
my
so, and then we had some other family deaths that were interspersed between that. So
right.
it was a lot of
Lot
death
of
that
death.
happened, and a lot of death that happened since we've been here too.
Right.
But
Yeah.
we just looked at and thought, wouldn't that suck?
Right.
If
Right?
you've done all this planning, you've
Right.
done all this saving, you've done all this preparation for retirement, and you never really got to enjoy life.
Right.
And
Yeah.
so we made a strategic decision to sell off everything and head to find the life that we really wanted to live, a life that we would actually love and enjoy. And so we looked around and thought, if we could design and create a life that brings us joy, that brings us happiness, what would it look like? And
Mhm.
here we are in Mexico.
In Mexico. Yeah.
What?
The thing about it is that I was never big on moving. Didn't like moving. It's a
Admit that. That's
that hard. That's not hard.
Oh, I understand, Angela.
I feel you, my brother.
Yeah, moving is a pain, and for me, it's two of the houses that we moved to. I set up the network, all this work, get it all set up, and then we leave.
Yeah.
And it's like, so, oh my goodness. And then you do it all over again. Same thing happened here in Mexico.
Yeah.
The first house we moved in, did that one.
See, Lamar is used to staying in one place. His family, his parents bought a home like when he was 2 months old. Moved into that home when he was, you were young. Your mom said.
No, I wasn't 2 months. I was, let's see, I was born in April. They moved in May. So I was like 6 weeks old.
Okay. No,
I was 5 or 6 weeks old. It went, so
2 weeks shy.
yeah,
weeks old.
Yeah.
And that's where they lived their entire life.
Yeah.
And so he's used to having that level of continuity, of stability, of being in one neighborhood and knowing all your neighbors and things of that nature. My parents didn't. That was not their story. And so we were used to moving around. So for me, home was not the building, was not the outer exterior location. It was who was in the home, in the building, who was in there.
Yeah.
And so I can move anywhere as long as I got my peoples. As long as I got, the ones I love, we can make a home someplace else. So we weren't, after a while, Lamar finally came on board with actually moving, and everything just fell into place.
Yeah.
God's plan just opened up the door, and it just fell into place. And we've been here it'll be 2 years.
Yeah, 2 years, and we got here in early July.
Yeah, we left on Juneteenth.
Yeah, so
okay.
so that looking, spending that time in the United States and watching the deterioration of political life there, watching the Ponzi scheme as in real estate there, it's just I could never see actually getting to a point where we were in a house or somewhere where we would live.
True. And that's true. The life that our baby boomer parents or our silent generation parents had.
Well, I'm a baby boomer.
Yeah, you're a baby boomer, but our parents were silent generation. The life that they had, we weren't realizing the benefits of that. We're, like I said, we were accomplished, had degrees, all that kind of stuff. stuff, and yet it still felt like we were still struggling.
The
to
rat
try to-
race. Yeah.
And it wasn't like we were balling out of control and
No.
trying to
Right.
drive the latest BMWs.
No.
We had Honda minivans.
Minivans.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You know, we were living a modest, practical life, and yet it still
Right.
felt like the system was stacked against
Yeah.
us. So we
Yeah.
wanted to try to see what life is like outside of the United States, because we had traveled a lot during our time and been able to see and experience life outside of the United States, and it felt different. It just gave a different energy.
I always talk about the fact that she gave me a gift. We went to Canada for the Formula One Grand Prix,
Nice.
and we talked to you guys about it. And at the Airbnb where we were staying, in the afternoon around 2:30
on a Thursday.
yeah, people were out at the park having fun. Drinking wine.
The
reading
park
poetry.
was crowded, y'all. The crowded park was packed on a Thursday at 2 in the afternoon.
At 2 in the afternoon, right? Who
Right.
does that?
Like, ain't y'all supposed to be at work?
Right.
Right. We see people laying out with a blanket, having cups and glasses of wine, reading a book, playing frisbee,
playing instruments, playing guitar, singing, reading poetry, playing football or
spending
soccer.
time with their kids.
Yeah.
And we were like, oh, so let's get this straight. This isn't a holiday. This is just a regular Thursday.
Right.
And what?
Right.
So we were like, that was the first time we were like,
yeah. And where we were staying, the refrigerator was like one of those college style refrigerators.
Very tiny refrigerator.
So on every corner block there was a bodega or a store where you could get fresh
market.
Yeah, you get what you needed. The staples that were in the refrigerator, they kept like low cream, low butter and stuff like that. But you go get your fresh meat,
we might
vegetables,
be doing this wrong.
And so I was like, wow, this is different. This is and this is that European style culture. So I wanted to be in something where I didn't have to work like that, or having somebody beat me down saying, or like a manager said in a call one time, I don't understand why you guys aren't putting 12, 14, 16 hours on your timesheet. I'm like, what? Are you kidding me? Are you going to pay me for that time?
Yeah.
No. So they wanted you to be working after you left the job, checking your emails and all that.
It feels like the culture of the United States has a very much a grind mentality.
Yes.
And everybody is on their grind. And
on
it
their
doesn't
grind.
lend to having a sense of work-life balance.
Work-life balance
is a
talking.
You want to get him started. You want to get him started, Angela.
Yeah, no,
that's just a fancy word.
It's
fancy phrase
that they say, and everybody goes, work-life balance. No, that doesn't exist.
No.
Companies like to use that and tout that as something that they live in, but they don't really.
That's not really the culture. No,
that's not the culture.
Not at all.
And we wanted to experience life in a place where that's not the norm. That's not That's not what's touted and esteemed in culture.
Right.
We found that being here in Mexico, it's different in terms of the culture. They value their elderly.
Yes.
You can see it. They value their children.
Right. You see it.
You see the way that they value their dogs.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
like, wow.
And we see them, of course, we've seen them out walking their mothers, their fathers in the afternoon, taking them out for a stroll.
Right.
The dogs, how they care for because this is a dog country. So if you don't like dogs, don't.
Yeah. Mexico might not be for you. Don't like dogs.
But there's dogs everywhere.
I might have to move to Mexico.
Right up
I love some dogs.
So when you go different places, we've been treated with nothing but love here.
Yeah.
And the people here are great. I love their hustle.
Oh yeah.
Hard-working folk.
Hard-working. They
good
love their families. They love enjoy spending time with family. All those kinds of things. And so that's been nice to be in a place where that was a priority. We've come into countless social situations. One of our neighbors threw a party very nice party.
Yeah.
Very nice
Mhm.
shishi poo poo
Oh, it was
party.
catered. They had all the food catered. It was
That's another misconception, because there are many Mexicans that have long dollars.
Yes.
That have
Yeah.
Okay.
long pesos.
Yes, they had
And it was a beautiful party.
Right.
But what I noticed immediately is that when we were welcomed in. Yes,
Yeah.
come on. Tell us about. Yeah, but they didn't ask us. Not once did they really ask us, "What do you do?"
right.
It was more so
Wow.
about who you were
Right.
as
Who
a
you are.
person, as opposed to
Yeah.
the very first question. If you go into social settings in the United States and you get
Right.
into
And
a
so what do
party,
you
they'll-
do?
what do
Right.
you do? And it's
Because
and I
that
think
defines who you are
exactly
in
and
America.
that mind
That social
shift,
status.
Right.
that paradigm shift of you're not defined by what you do,
Or what you
but
have.
but rather who you are, was just kind of
Right.
like, you know.
Yeah.
So you guys said one thing that I just want to clarify. So you said they're hardworking people, but is that in the same context of American hardworking, or they still have a true work-life balance?
They have a work-life.
They have a work-life balance, but they're not afraid to put that work and that hustle in.
Right.
You know,
Right,
so
right.
if you will see people on the side of the road, they're selling their tacos, or they're selling their
Right.
tortillas, their homemade tortillas that they made in their kitchen, and they're selling it
Right.
out. You know what I'm saying? That kind
Right.
of entrepreneurial spirit
Yes.
is
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
kind of like. So that's what I equate as their hustle. They have a very entrepreneurial spirit. They don't want charity. I'll do it. You know what I'm saying? They have
Right.
that kind of spirit. I
Right.
admire that.
What made you guys choose the city that you're living in? Look, I'm not even gonna try to pronounce it.
Right. I'm not either.
Querétaro.
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 Yeah.
Yeah.
Querétaro.
So
Okay.
in order for me to be on board with this, she asked me to find a place that had, because I'm an avid RC car racer.
Remote control car racing. Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
He builds and races it. Listen, I've been trying to get this brother to move since 2011, 2010, if we're honest.
Oh.
2010. And he was like, no. So when he finally was like, yeah, let's go, I was like, oh, you know.
Let's pack them now. Let's pack them now.
Okay, let's, because I personally would have wanted to move to the continent, to the motherland, etc., go to South Africa, but it was too far. Okay, no problem. Find us
We'll compromise.
Side of the hemisphere, on this side of the hemisphere, so we can jump back and forth to the States if the kids want to go back and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
That has a remote control car racing track, because I know that's something he loves. That's his passion and his hobby. So a life that we love has to include that.
Yeah.
And
right.
So a couple of the places that he picked, or that he told me about, one was up near Baja Sur, near the California desert-ish side.
Yeah, but that was off-road,
Yeah.
and I don't do off-road.
Right. So then another place was down by Mexico City. Right.
Too crowded.
Yeah, I was like, oh,
too crowded.
I said
I really don't
no.
want to do a big city
Right.
stuff.
Yeah.
So, okay. So then the other place was this other town called Querétaro. How do you say that? So I was like, all right, well, let me check it out. Let me do my research and see what they have, or what have you, because I knew that there's certain things I know he's not gonna not gonna go. So we needed to have, the modern amenities like high-speed internet, and we needed to have, universities and schools, and all that infrastructure that you enjoy in a modern city,
and a modern house.
In a modern house.
Yes.
He wanted to also have, be able to. We wanted to be able to go to Starbucks, and then also still have that quaint colonial feel. So Querétaro actually is the best of both worlds. You get all of that in one.
Okay.
It's like one of the little known secrets of Mexico at this point until it's been getting out. So we've got international corporations that have headquarters here. You've got your Huawei, you've got Samsung, you've got a lot of aerospace engineering companies that
HP's here, and I believe Amazon is
Amazon is putting a data center here in Querétaro.
Okay.
As soon as they do that, all right, there we go.
Yeah. So there's a RC track maybe 2 miles from the house
Right
where we
up the
are,
road
right up
from
the
our
road.
house.
It's the largest one here in Mexico. So
Yeah.
and they just had a big international race there.
So he gets to do what he loves and all of those things. And so we're still close to home. We have an international airport here in Querétaro. It's not far.
That was going to be my next question.
Yep, about 3 hours outside of Mexico City, north of Mexico City. So our daughter our oldest fell in love with Mexico City. We knew that was going to happen because she just loves the energy of Mexico City. So lets her be able to come travel here back home by bus and visit with us for and then go back home. So it's a good fit. It was a good fit.
Yeah, it is.
So that
go ahead, baby.
So that was going to be my question as far as like flying in there. They already have, you could fly directly into there and
because the airport is about 45 minutes from here.
From this,
from us, 45 minutes from us, and Tequisquiapan, near Tequisquiapan.
It's not
but it's near Tequisquiapan.
Yeah.
And it doesn't take that long to get there. So it's very convenient as far as airport.
They are building. I mean, the building that's going on in Querétaro is crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Okay.
Wow.
So it's definitely one of those little known gems. We got a cheesecake factory now, y'all.
You know you're doing something now.
I when Krispy Kreme came, I was like, okay, all right, we're good.
Yeah.
We good. And now the cheesecake factory. Oh.
Well, and Querétaro also is the home to the largest indoor mall in Latin America.
The Antia Mall.
Wow.
Antia Mall is the largest mall in all of Latin America. So, and it's a very nice mall. Very nice.
Yeah. There's some stores in there that when you look at the products, it's like, okay, now do I need a second mortgage?
I feel like I need to be dressed up in order to go into those stores.
Do I need to take out like a major loan? What do I need to do to buy? Because it's the things in there are quite expensive.
Wow.
Rashida and Stephanie and I, we went shopping when they came, and we got some really good deals of stuff.
Deals, but
you can find some stuff on sale.
But stuff on sale, but the rest of the stuff in there.
Yeah, that's name brand. Name brand everything.
Yes.
And so
wow.
Yeah, Michael Kors stores. What is in there? That one store
Louis
has
Vuitton, Michael Kors.
Okay. So they got some real high end stuff. Okay.
All the
high end stuff.
Yeah.
So how are the kids enjoying? I mean, how did they acclimate to the change? I mean, I know you said one of your daughters so just two of them came over with you, or all three?
All three came, but our oldest she's 28 now. She'll be 29 this year.
Yeah.
So she had to come on her own. She had to come on, and when I mean on her own, in terms of gaining her residency, she had to be able to prove by her own residency by herself. Our two youngers were under 18, so they were able to come in under us and gain their temporary residencies. Right. So when we first mentioned, when we were in the States, and we mentioned the idea, or not even mentioned the idea, we told them, look, we're moving.
Right.
Right. But really, I said to them both, because they were in high school. And so it was, my son in particular was entering his senior year in high school. So, but to our defense, COVID interfered with a lot of that. So a lot of their high school, especially for our youngest, she was in virtual school that whole time, or, a lot of that time. And they both did very well in virtual school. They did very well at being in online school, straight A's. They had no. So I was like, oh, y'all do much better in online school than you do when you go back to school because of all the peer pressure and the he said, she said, and the all that kind of stuff. So what I offered to the littles, as I'm calling them right now, that's what I call my little dogs. What I offered to them was just give me a year. Just give me a year, because I really feel it's important because I want to show you some things. I kind of got the feeling that their mindset was very closed about what life is and what the world is and all that kind of stuff. And it just felt like I really wanted to, even though they were traveled, they still were boxing themselves into a little corner and into a small world mindset. And I just wanted, just give me a year to myself. Just give me a year, and I want to broaden your horizons. I want to show you some new things. I want to show you some new culture or what have you. And then at the end of the year, if you decide that you want to go back to the United States to school, I will drive you myself.
Right.
With Gabby, I really drive. But anyway. But we just really wanted them to be able to experience that, because every time that I've traveled, even without Lamar, or I've been elsewhere in the world or on business trips and things of that nature, I've always had this feeling of, oh, I wish Lamar could see this. Oh, I wish Gabby could see that. Oh, Ben would love this, or Vanessa I would constantly be thinking about how that experience, I would have loved to share that with my family. And so we knew that moving to Mexico would be huge, would be major. And we really wanted to be able to share that with our kids. And so at the end of June of 2022, we packed up our minivan, loaded the minivan with our oldest was already out and about in the world. But we packed up with the dogs and the kids and drove from Maryland to Mexico.
Now, mind you,
wow. How long was that drive?
How long was the drive?
We drove it up over 4 days.
4 days.
Oh,
we didn't want to drive at night. We wanted to, so we drove from Maryland to Tennessee.
Yeah.
And then from Tennessee to New Orleans. Because Vanessa was doing a house sit. Our oldest was doing a house sit in New Orleans. So we got to spend some time with her for the day. And then we drove and the plan was to drive from New Orleans to Houston, and then Houston to the border. But we left New Orleans, and Lamar got on his good foot, and we made it all the way to the border in one day.
Right.
And then once we crossed over, and we thought that was going to be a hassle, but it wasn't.
Now, all the stories that we had heard, people crossing the border, we got hung up for an hour. We had to unpack our car. We had to take everything. We crossed first thing in the morning, pulled in the parking spot. Angie getting all her paperwork together, dog paperwork, all this stuff. I got to get on this. The guy walks up and he come on out and open the hatch of the van.
I was like, okay, come on.
And he walks
Let's
by
go. Let's go. Let's go.
Right. So he walks past the car. The window was open. He sees Candy in there and goes, Chihuahua, like that. And then he gets to the back of the van. We open the van. And there was a duffel, my son's duffel that he used for overnight. And he goes, open it up. Looked at it. Is all this your clothing belongings? Yes. Okay. Have a nice day.
Anyway, we were like, but my paperwork, but
I got all this together. Come on, I need you to look at it.
Right. Exactly.
I was ready. So we crossed over the border early in that morning, and then we were like, okay, let's see if we can make it to Querétaro.
We drove from the border and then it started getting dark, and then we stopped in San Luis Potosí. And
got a really nice hotel.
So we were only supposed to stay there like a night or so.
Yeah.
But we ended up staying until when?
Yeah, we stayed an extra night because that suite was fabulous.
Right.
And so just being able to be in a really nice hotel was nice. Yeah, it was 2 days.
It was 2 days because we left there on Wednesday morning to go to the airport because the meetup was happening in Cancun.
Yeah, we were already scheduled to. That was our plan. We were going to get to Querétaro, put our car at the airport, grab our carry-ons and head to Cancun for the Exodus Summit meetup, and had a great time in Cancun as a family in Cancun. So yeah. But in terms of answering for the question,
go ahead, baby. No, go ahead.
Initially, the girls were like, let's go. You know, the girls were good. It was our son that was kind of like, okay, I'll grin and bear it. But maybe about 4 months in,
he made a go of it. He started making friends, going up the street playing basketball, made a friend.
Then over at the track after a while he was telling us that, you know, this is awesome. This is amazing.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Mother does know best, right?
Yeah.
So how far was the drive from the border to Querétaro?
Exactly what I asked.
Oh, okay.
Querétaro, it's a 12-hour drive
from
the border to Querétaro.
Oh my gosh.
Right. So again, that we were going to try to take it, you know, we were going to try to punch it.
Yeah, but that required some night driving, which we weren't going to do.
And we didn't want to do driving at night.
No.
Understandable. Yeah.
We wanted to be driving during the daytime, and we were tired. By the time the sun started to go down, we were like, okay, it's getting late.
I've done 12-hour drives from Maryland to Kentucky, and it was not a big deal, but I didn't want to get to the point where it was dusk and then getting dark. And, you know, there are some issues with safety in parts of Mexico.
Just in general, I don't want to be driving on I-95 at night.
But at least I-95, some of the highway here doesn't have lights. So you don't want to do that. Yeah.
But it was fun. It was a good drive. It was a fun drive. I mean, the kids did not help. So it was just the two of us driving the whole time.
They sat back and watched movies in the back.
And enjoyed life in the minivan.
Yeah.
So that was going to be like another question.
The drive was uneventful from the standpoint it was safe. We didn't have any kind of car issues, nothing. It was just
pullover police issues.
Smooth sailing.
It was a smooth
That was going to be my next thing is, you know, everybody hears all of the stories and all the bad stuff, the cartels and all of this type of stuff and all the bad things about
even
Mexico.
though people forget that we got cartels right here in good old America.
Yeah, we got cartels. Look, we got cartels. There's one of the biggest cartels persons is Orange right now. So don't
for sure.
And on trial. So let me stop.
For sure.
Don't
get
us in trouble on YouTube. Stop.
But anyway, you're a lot of people that talk about all of that stuff, the bad things about that, and then you know how you see a lot of people that's leaving Mexico trying to come over here and all of that stuff, and then you always hear all the bad rap about Mexico, you know, and that's what I will say. You haven't experienced any of that?
No. It's been the exact opposite, actually. And the thing is, when you hear about and you see the news media propaganda that offers the narrative that all these Mexicans are trying to flood to the border and they're trying to, Mexicans are kind of offended by that,
right? Because they're not
tell us the truth.
and the ones that are in the country are there sending money back to their family because Walmart. Someone was telling us I forget how many billions of dollars is being transferred through Walmart funds exchange
but
to
the reality
Mexico.
Is most of the time the people coming through the border are not from Mexico. They're actually from Honduras, from Guatemala, from lower South America,
making
their way up through Mexico and going through the border, or from Russia, or India.
Yes.
Coming to Mexico and going through the border.
Yeah.
So that's like a little known fact that you don't hear on Fox News or anything like that. That a lot of Russia, coming through Iraq, coming through the border. They're not even.
You don't hear that at all.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No, you're not. So,
and as a matter of fact, the one of the other things about the cartel industry or the cartel issue that affects Mexico is when guns are sold in the United States, that's how they're brought here to Mexico. Because you can't own. Well, you can own guns, but it really is a hard thing for you to be able to get.
How many gun
guns.
stores is it?
There's only one gun store in Mexico, and it's in Mexico City, and it literally, as Lamar likes to say,
In
it's
all
a
of Mexico.
In all of
All
Mexico?
of
Mexico is huge.
And it's in a military a military installation, so you can't even purchase. You have to really prove to them why
do you need a gun?
Why
Why,
do
you have a business? Okay, and there's a whole ton of red tape and paperwork to get it.
right.
So the
Wow.
issue with if there's guns here, it's because the United States has such a loose policy with their guns, and they're being smuggled into the country.
The story with Biden coming to the Mexican president saying, "You do something about that fentanyl," and he turned around and says, "Can you do something about them guns?" And that was a true story where he was like, "Yeah, okay, I'll check the fentanyl thing, but you need to do something about these guns that are coming up."
Well, the drug issue is largely because it's fueled by the guns.
Yeah,
So there's
exactly.
a lot of that kind of thing happening because of the affinity. So if anything, I'm just saying, if anybody wants to build a wall,
Yeah, it'd be
might be
Mexico.
Mexico.
It'd be Mexico. Yeah.
Mess over there.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, as far as
Yeah.
the question about cartels and stuff like that, there are safe zones here in Mexico, and Querétaro is
Because
one of them.
It's like a rival gang.
Right.
So
Yeah.
people who get caught in the crossfire of that gang type situation that happens in LA, it happens in Compton, it happens in Detroit, it happens in, and when you have these rival gangs happening or firing and things of that nature. So and most of the time when you hear of stories of an American tourist or a European tourist that was killed in Cancun or someplace like that, 9 times out of 10, most of the time when you hear and you dig deeper in the story, you find out that it's because some Americans or some people were trying to do some illegal stuff.
Right. And dealing with stuff. Because if you don't walk in their community, if you don't deal in their dealings.
When he says community, if you don't do illegal stuff,
right.
You ain't got those illegal problems.
Right. You don't go in their community, you don't deal in their stuff.
They're not trying to mess with you.
They ain't messing with you. They ain't thinking about you going about your business. Out of here.
Matter of fact, there was a story of the 4 people who were some Black people who were, I think they were from South Carolina.
Yeah. I remember that story.
They came to do some medical tourism and got mixed up.
Some
cartel people mixed them up with the wrong folks and murdered them. And the cartel said, this is the guy. Take him, here he is.
Right.
Because they're like, we don't want this kind of scrutiny. We don't want that. That killing. What?
Right.
Here he is. Take him to jail.
Right.
That type of thing.
Right.
They know. If you leave us alone, we're not trying to
leave you alone.
We're not trying to bring that attention on ourselves.
Right.
And what do you mean by safe zone? You said, Lamar, safe zone?
There's some areas where the 2 gangs, cartel gangs, have decided, okay, this is an area where all of our families can just live and be safe. That there's we're not shooting in these areas. We're not doing
They're not conducting business or anything.
Right. We're not doing, these are areas that are marked off that we're saying, okay, this is where my abuela lives. This is where my auntie and my
uncle,
my
kids are going to school.
Right. So
there
are states where they have whole areas where they have decided, okay, this is a safe area that I can put my family here and they'll be safe. And if there's any problem, it's like hell to pay between the warring gangs and things like that.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So Querétaro is one of those places that is a safe area.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm glad you cleared that up.
It's no different from
the United States,
from how we lived in DC.
Right.
And as a matter of fact, I feel safer here in Mexico than I do back in the States, especially when you can't go to the grocery store, you can't go to the movie theater, you can't go to a concert, you can't go to school, you can't go to church without having some mass shooter come in and shoot up the place. I don't have that kind of feeling here.
No, we don't.
Yeah. So Lamar, how, as a Black man in Querétaro, I'll get it one day. How do you feel? I mean,
it used to be that I would see police officers and things like that.
Oh,
I don't feel that anymore. And trust and believe, when you see these police officers driving around here, they've got the two guys up front and these big.
They got these big militia type.
And they got these big trucks with the big.
Oh, okay.
And
it's very intimidating.
They got the whole body armor and
Wow.
and they're just the nicest people you want everyone to come across. They just drive, and I rarely see anybody being chased around here.
No, that's true. That's
I don't
true.
see any,
and I don't have that sense of like when I'm in the States. And last time we were in the States, and I'm driving, and a police car comes up behind me, and you immediately tense up.
Right.
You look at this,
Right.
check your speedometer, you check, am I doing everything right? Because you don't want to get pulled over driving while black.
Right.
In the United States.
EWB is what that's called.
Right. So and I felt my whole body tense up, and I was like, wow. But here I don't have that. I do not have that sense. I'm driving and I see the cops and it's just like, okay.
Well, here's the other thing. If you watch people drive around here, oh my goodness, these folk here drive like a bat out of hell. Some of them, and the traffic violations and things like that. So when you see the cops drive past that, you're looking at them going, didn't you just see them? He drove past you like the speed of light. You're not going to get him? No? Okay. But we do the speed limit. We just try to obey the traffic laws. Actually, coming here, I think that maybe we could teach them something, like turn on a turn signal or something like that.
Or how to do the roundabouts.
The roundabouts. Oh,
the proper way to yield.
Hello. No.
Oh.
They don't. They make turns, right-hand turns or left-hand turns from the opposite lane,
right,
across you like this.
Right.
Oh man.
Yeah. So it makes you a better driver.
Yeah. That's for sure.
Yeah.
So how's the transportation out there? Meaning public transportation.
Because
it sounds like you guys have a car out there, right?
Yeah, we
you guys have your own.
But
because you brought your van. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we bought our car because I'm not about that Uber life.
Yeah. So they have,
when I'm ready to go, I'm ready to go.
They have taxi cabs here. Of course, they have Uber. They have buses. The taxi cabs actually run off of propane, which is very nice.
Oh.
So they don't contribute to greenhouse gases.
So in a lot of in Mexico City, that's the way to get around is their subway, their subway system.
Oh, okay.
Very robust subway system, buses and all that kind of stuff. In Querétaro, we don't have a subway, but we do have a lot of buses. Systems in the central area that get you around downtown and even come up through to up in the suburbs-ish area that we will live in. But no, Candy, no. Our dog is like,
can you pick me up, please?
We got ours. Ours is sitting.
Oh, hey, Candy.
Candy.
Ma'am.
Hey, Candy.
Goodbye.
Bye, Candy.
That's our oldest dog.
Bye, Candy.
She's our oldest dog. She's 12.
12.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
About the same age as ours.
Yeah. Ours is laying right here on the floor,
sleeping.
She was laying on the floor until I was ignoring her. So then she came around to Lamar's side to go, well, she's ignoring me. That heifer is ignoring me. So can you pick me up?
Now she'll just sit here and lick my fingers saying, can you scratch me, please?
Oh.
And our two puppies are asleep. So the puppies are asleep. They are 4 months.
4 months, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I forgot you got the little puppies. The cutie. Yeah. Wow. So what I want to ask you now is this move, how has that impacted your relationship, not just with your kids, because we know that that's a whole different story, but in your own relationship, how has that impacted you guys? I'm sure for the better. And would you have, if you hadn't moved, do you think that how would your relationship would have been if you hadn't moved versus this incredible move?
Right. Well, I'll stop, Candy.
You're stepping on my feet, girl. Yeah.
Well, what I'll say is, first of all, I would not recommend a move of this nature, of this magnitude, if your relationship is not solid.
Because as I've said, and I use this all the time now, is that in the movie called Buckaroo Banzai in the Eighth Dimension, Wherever you go, there you are. So
There you are.
you take whatever your relationship is and you move it over here, it doesn't make it any better.
It doesn't make it any better. It just adds to it,
to it.
because you've now
Okay.
added on to relationship problems, adjusting to a new environment, adjusting to a new language, adjusting to a new area, new cultural norms, all those kinds of things. And so it's that they can be very difficult. For us, we had a really good, solid relationship, so that just made it better for us. We deliberately planned for that very first year, especially, to have a year off, both of us, a year sabbatical, and to be able to just enjoy our and just decompress.
And also get to know the city, because there was so much here, so much to learn, where to, grocery shop, where to, the language. Of course, there are certain stores here that are, kind of like Walmart here. You have Costco, Home Depot, but then grocery stores. And let's be clear,
we're talking relationships.
So this made things easier from the standpoint of being able to find things and also spend time together. Where the restaurants are going.
That's true. Okay, I see where you're going.
So downtown, understanding where
there's a method to his madness.
Yeah, and it did allow us to be able to, get up in the morning and walk to our local bakery, our panderia, and have some, get some fresh pastries in the morning and come back and enjoy our coffee together, or to go downtown and sit at a cafe and just enjoy the scenery, just have a date night in the middle of the day, that type of thing. That has been just,
I mean, going to do something as mundane as getting the oil changed, but then we had breakfast together that day.
Oh yeah.
So we had breakfast at Tox, which is kind of like Denny's kind of deal.
Just a restaurant. Just a restaurant. Just being able to spend a lot of just time together. Just with nothing on our minds other than just spending time together. Because usually, sometimes when you're in the rat race, you are. Okay, you've got your to-do lists out, and I'm going to take the car for the oil change. Do you have the kids? Who's getting the kids on Thursday? Right. Okay, you getting the kids on Thursday. Right. Okay, so Saturdays, so Ben has a game. I'm going to pick him up after. Right. So you're together, but you're not together. Spending time together, or what have you. And so that's been great. That has allowed us to be able to spend some more time together, to have some and just for him to be able to practice his hobby. I think Lamar was able to get relaxed into the sabbatical mindset way faster than I was. Would you say?
Yes.
Yes, indeed.
It probably took me about 9 months to kind of get to the place where I could just kind of relax, so just a little bit, to just kind of okay. Well, I don't what my calendar is free. I don't have something to do. My calendar, when we were back in the States, my calendar would be booked for at least a year. No joke. A year, a solid year in advance. So every weekend had stuff scheduled for a year out. So just to be able to, when we got here, it's like, okay, that ends. Nothing on my calendar. And so that really took like some deprogramming for me to not feel like I wasn't being a slacker, because I have time to just actually just relax and rest and all that kind of stuff. That was kind of, it's kind of crazy if you think about it, but really, if you try it, for some of us type A folks, it was a hard thing to let go of and just actually relax, learn how to breathe, learn how to just, get up in the morning and get the coffee and go and sit and watch the sunrise.
And actually, this is a great house to actually do that, because it does face east, and the sun.
No, it faces south.
Sort of,
faces south. So we've got the east and the west.
Right. Yeah. So so we can see the sunrise up over the mountains, and it's a beautiful scene. Yeah, it really is. Absolutely. So it's and if it wasn't so daggone hot, right now, it'd be even better. So I think June.
Yeah, the rainy season starts next month.
So it'll cool down. Really? As a matter of fact, it was a violent thunderstorm last night. Lightning was lighting up the sky last
I'm not
night.
mad. That means the
And
rain is coming.
it
Let's
cooled off though.
bring it.
It made it
Huh.
much better
'Cause
last
it's
night.
hot right now.
Yeah, it's
And
hot.
it's not normally hot. In Querétaro, the it's kind of like a spring year round weather type
Yeah.
of temperature. So
Yeah.
at the most, in the hottest part of the year, it may go up to like in the low 80s,
Mid 80s,
maybe
80.
mid 80 at the mid 80 at the high
Yeah.
point. And then in
Okay.
the evening, it may drop down into the 60s, or in the winter, their winter, which is rainy
Right.
season, it may get down into
Now,
the
their
into
winters,
the 50s.
you go to Costco,
Yeah.
carts would be loaded up with blankets
Yeah.
because these people,
Oh.
because I'm used to the 30 and below in the winter
Right.
in the
Yeah.
Maryland,
12,
12 degrees,
5
wind,
degrees.
wind chill of -10
Right, right.
sometimes.
Oh
And so cold here to me is I'm wearing shorts, and they're looking at me like, "What are you doing?" It's not cold to me. It feels great.
Right.
Lamar out here trying to be
Yeah.
a whole white boy
No.
with white shorts.
But see, in the United States, you'd see that white boy out there, and it's 15,
20 degrees
20
outside in a pair of basketball shorts.
and a
Yeah.
pair of Crocs on or something like
With
that.
no
No socks on. I'm like, what are you doing?
I'm like, what?
But the climate here is very comfortable.
Yeah.
I don't like it hot. But it's that DC hot humidity that I don't like. Here it's not humid.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
It's
true.
a dry
That's
heat.
true. There's no humidity here.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Very little humidity.
So
Okay.
back to her question though, I mean I'm spending quality time with my wife has been a great thing. My mom always lived vicariously through our relationship when she was living. She liked the fact that we always talked and not just serious talk, but we laughed and joked and all that kind
Yeah.
of stuff together.
His
Whereas-
mom was
Yeah.
great. I loved his
Whereas
mom.
my parents did not have that type of relationship.
Yeah.
Just the I mean they were married for 57. Is it 57 years? She died 2015, so that's when they parted ways.
52
Yeah.
years when she died.
No,
We had the
I think in 2008.
oh yeah, you're right. Oh sorry, my bad.
Mm-hmm.
My bad.
Yeah, because they were married in they were married in 58.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
So
wow.
Oh wow.
so they were married for 57 years.
Yeah, you're right. Okay.
And but it was interesting. My mom told this story, them going to counseling, and my dad says to the counselor, "Look here, if you're not here to tell me that she needs to do what I tell her to do, we don't need to have this conversation." And he got up and walked out.
Oh no.
So he's old school. So I learned a lot
Yeah.
of what not to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My parents were divorced, so yeah, you learn what not
to do. And
Yeah.
but not necessarily what a healthy role model of what a relationship looks like.
So
Exactly.
I'm having to make this up as I go.
Yeah.
Because I didn't have an example set to me as far as a loving husband to,
That's good though.
Yeah, like I
He does
brought her some flowers yesterday.
Yesterday, yes.
I do it every once in a while, not all the time, but just to let her know I'm thinking about her, and just
Get them drowels. That's what it was.
Stop. So it's just
Oh my goodness, Angela.
I don't want to repeat what my dad, that old school, hard. I go out and make the money kind of thing, and I come home and you have my dinner ready for me.
Yeah.
Where's my dinner? Kind of deal.
Or babysitting the kids.
Oh yeah. Oh, don't get me started.
Okay.
So my dad said to me one time when we first been in Gabby, and I was at home by myself because I don't know where you had gone, some meeting, church thing or whatever. And he says, "What you doing?" I said, "I'm here with the kids." "Oh, you babysitting?" Whoa, time out, Dad. Time out. That's not babysitting.
These are my kids.
These are my kids. I'm parenting. A babysitter is named Chelsea that lives down the street. She comes here and we pay her $15 an hour. That's the babysitter.
That's
I'm the dad,
right?
and the dad is parenting right now. So
Yeah.
you know, I had to
Exactly.
get him straight on. He said, "Well, son," I said, "Dad," I said, I respectfully disagree with you on that terminology. Fathers don't babysit, and
Yeah.
if you're walking around here saying that you're babysitting, then you're not doing your job as a
You're
parent.
not
Yeah.
parenting, right?
That's
It,
right.
it's it, being a parent with the children is not only, you know, spending time changing diapers, feeding, bathing,
Yep.
all that stuff when they're that's a
Right.
parent. Babysitters don't do all of that on the regular,
Yeah.
you know, with your children. So we have to get men and black men out of this mindset that
Yeah.
there's raising children, bathing, changing diapers is women's work. No, that's father's work too.
But you know, it was important to us too, because my parents were divorced and had a bitter divorce.
Mhm.
And
Ah.
his parents didn't have necessarily a great relationship. It was important to us to set a good example role model for our children.
Right.
And so we
Right.
really worked, especially in those early years, and even when Ben and Gabby were small, we really worked hard to make sure that we were that we were talking, that we were communicating, that we were on the right page and
Right.
on the same
Right.
page, to really foster an environment where our kids grew up in a healthy relationship so that we could model for them what it looks like. You don't see us yelling and screaming at each other. You don't
Calling
see
each
us
other out of each other's name. and
absolutely
carrying out-
never.
No.
You would
Right,
never see
right.
us, you know, disrespectful to one another or things of that nature. You would see
Exactly.
him helping me or me helping him and things like that. Or if we have an argument or not even argument, a disagreement,
Agreement.
we
Yeah.
would model for them how to have a healthy disagreement that's not disrespectful or all
Right.
that kind of stuff. And then also how to bring it back.
Right.
Like, okay,
Right.
all right, I was a little miffed at you, but you know, and then be able to
Right.
model that for our kids. We wanted them to be able
Yeah.
to see that. And so that was really important to us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good.
Thank
Uh,
Oh, it's
I,
oh, go ahead, baby.
no, well, my question was, how was uh the language barrier? Like in the town that you're in, do they speak a lot of English or
Spanish.
none?
Spanish.
All Spanish?
So are you
Yes,
guys
there
fluent
are
in
some
Spanish
folks
yet?
that are some people here are, and there are some people that show me that they have Duolingo on their phone
Oh,
learning
is that
English.
cute? How cute.
You know,
Oh,
and so I show it to them. I say, I'm learning Spanish, and I show them, oh, I have my Duolingo. I'm learning,
learning English.
English.
There are some places
Oh,
in
cool.
Mexico that, and particularly in the touristy areas,
Yeah.
Cancun, Acapulco,
Right.
Puerto Vallarta, that
Yeah.
you will find a lot of English speaking Spanish people there,
Right.
you know,
Mhm.
Mexican people there that speak
Mhm.
English because they have to because of the tourism
Tourists.
or what
Right.
have you.
Yeah.
But in
Mhm.
Querétaro,
No.
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 Yeah,
No.
it is not that way in Querétaro. You speak Spanish
Yes.
or what have you. And then you might
Wow.
find some people that know how to speak a little bit of English, but for the most part, we were on our own. So before we got here for the whole year, before we even left the United States, I was practicing my Spanish. Our oldest did Spanish in high school and in college. So she came here with a
Okay.
little bit level of fluency that helped us as a family because we were
Okay.
Yeah.
what did they say? You know, that type of thing.
Right.
Right.
2 years in now here, so I guess that's 3 years of me studying Spanish.
Mhm.
I'm okay. I'm not fluent at
Right.
all, but
Mhm.
I'm able to get around. Most of the time, I'm able to get around without even using my phone at this point in time to
Oh,
you know,
okay.
pick it up and help translate or whatever. I can order things online. I can, or on the phone, I can order my Krispy Kremes through the drive-through. You know, very
I'll take
important.
it.
That's an accomplishment, huh?
I think it. You must really like Krispy Kremes because you said Krispy Kremes like 5 times.
It's very important. Okay, it's very important.
I was actually there was a couple of places where we went that there were Krispy Kremes, and I was like, wow, they have Krispy Kremes
Oh,
here.
like,
in
wow,
Querétaro.
they sell Krispy Kremes here at the grocery store.
So that was when we first got here.
Wow.
And then as we're driving down the highway, we see a building going up. We're like, what's that over there? And then the sign went up, and we're like, Krispy Kremes? They got a Krispy Kreme store?
Angela was dancing. She was like, "What? It's on."
Now, check this though. Check this. They actually have, and I hadn't seen one in a while. but they have a Church's Chicken.
Oh,
here.
yeah, they have Church's Chicken
Oh,
down
I
the
don't
road.
know if you've
What?
ever heard of
Oh
Church's Chicken.
no.
The Church's
Oh.
Chicken
Yeah.
is the bomb. Church's Chicken here is it's better than the KFC here. They have a Kentucky Fried
I
Chicken
mean, they
here.
have the normal, the Shake Shack.
The Shake Shack just
Tim
came.
Hortons.
Yeah, Tim Hortons.
Okay.
Okay.
McDonald's.
So now my
Okay.
question when it comes to the Church's Chicken now, I mean, I don't eat fried chicken and all that. I used to back in the day. I
We're
used
not
to
eating
love
churches, at least here in,
I used-
in
well,
the
when I was-
United States.
when I was younger, I ate a lot of Church's Chicken. I did.
yeah,
I mean,
I don't know.
but I mean, you know, that was my question was going to be, is it different? Because reason why I asked that is because when I went to South Africa, we went to McDonald's and I was blown away because the food was totally different.
Yeah.
The ketchup looked totally different. The chicken nuggets they had, I got some chicken nuggets. The chicken nuggets was like grilled chicken. It was like grilled chicken nuggets. It wasn't battered
It was
like
the
what we
little
get.
bitty nuggets. It was like chicken.
Chicken.
Yeah, it was like, it was chicken. It was actual real pieces of chicken.
Not
So
compressed pieces.
yeah. So that's why I'm asking, is it different there?
In some ways,
Oh.
it's different. The food is different here. The quality is different. I would say now Church's Chicken. I remember Church's Chicken as being greasy, but it wasn't as greasy.
This chicken was greasy. Now I will say, KFC is different.
Different, yeah.
And not in a good
okay.
way.
No, it's not.
It's missing some. It's missing like
Flavor?
Some spices.
it's missing Carolina flappy arms. You know what I'm saying? It needs some. You
Yeah.
know,
Some.
Yeah,
It needs some big mama up in there cooking it up.
Right. It's not.
It's not
It's not bad. In
No.
a pinch, it's not bad.
bad. No, it's
It's not
not
Right.
bad.
But when I want some chicken, if we're
Yeah.
not cooking it ourselves, I
Yeah.
mean,
We would have to drive
Yeah.
a little bit further down to get
we
to
go down to the
Church's
churches to
and
get
get
some.
Church's
Okay,
Chicken
okay.
because I mean
That's
the
right.
biscuits, the mashed potatoes and gravy, it's on point.
Right.
It is
The
really
okay.
honey
yeah,
biscuit.
yeah, I get that.
It's really good.
Yeah.
But food different in American stuff.
Now, I will say this. Pizza sucks.
Yeah,
Pizza
Mm.
sucks.
I
in
love
Petro.
pizza. I love
We've
pizza.
only found like 2 places that really have pizza that do it, that tastes good, that tastes right.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Domino's is.
It's okay.
There's a
The
Pizza
Pizza
Hut.
Hut.
Now the Panderia that around the corner from the first house we lived, he started making pizza. His pizza was really
Yeah,
good.
his pizza was good.
His
His pizza was
pizza
good.
was-
And it was because we said, pizza here sucks.
And
He's like,
even-
you know what? You're right.
Right. And
See what I can do.
there
and-
was a place we ordered pizza and they said it was artisanal.
or messing it. That's what that
Yeah.
was.
They used ketchup for the sauce. There was not a lick of garlic, onion powder,
No.
oregano, no thyme, no rosemary, nothing. It was
No.
it was
We
terrible.
were like, what is this? What is this? So
Right.
yeah. So some of the now, of course, the Mexican food here is off the
Oh,
chain.
yeah.
I'm sure.
Okay, that was gonna be
amazing.
my next question because we have great Mexican food places around here,
Because we're in California.
because we're in California.
Yeah.
But
Right.
I was wondering, what is it like there? Because
Oh,
now you're
it-
coming from the actual
Querétaro
place.
is not known for its food.
No,
Querétaro is not the foodie place
Oh.
like some of the other areas,
like
Oaxaca
Oaxaca,
and things of that nature. That
Uh,
it's not known for its food, but the Mexican food is
especially the
pretty good
street
here.
food. The street food, the street
Mm.
vendors that have tacos, like the lady up on the
That
corner.
lady up on the corner be throwing down.
Yeah, we had a taco place around the corner
She
from us.
sells them out the back of her truck. Her
It's a pickup truck.
truck.
They put propane tanks in it, got a flat top in
Yes,
there,
Lord.
grilling up the onions and cooking up the meat.
This
and
thing
stuff.
works it out.
Yes,
We drive
you can
past and
smell it coming up the
Yes.
street. And you're like, "Whoa, there it goes."
it's like,
Oh.
okay. You might have to stop
It's,
over there.
it's
today.
funny that you say that because we have a lot of that around here.
yeah.
A
we do.
lot,
Mhm.
a lot.
Yeah.
You can go 100 feet, and there's one. You go
They're
another
setting
100
their
feet.
stuff up.
They got it all. It's a lot.
I mean, honestly, I've never stopped in one of them, but my sister, she swears by them. She said, Angela, you get the best burritos, tacos, whatever
Yeah.
you want off them trucks. I'm like,
Yeah,
okay.
trucks and the
Oh yeah.
stands and all that
Oh
stuff.
yeah. And the small mom and pops. So there was one that we found near the Home Depot that's gone now.
Oh, you're talking about that burrito place.
They
Mm.
had the best burritos.
Oh
It's
my
a
God.
little tiny shop. It was a family-owned deal, and they
Mhm.
had the
I was so
best
hurt.
burritos. And then all of a sudden, poof, they were gone. It was like,
Yeah.
oh
Oh, okay.
no.
Oh,
I think they've moved, but there's a place that's not far from us that does really good empanadas too.
Yeah.
And, you know, there's some other places that I'm enjoying. But for the most
Okay.
Yeah.
part, we learned how, since vegetables are fresh. I mean, when I talk fresh, when we go to
They
the
still
little
have dirt on
tienda, the carrots still have the stalk and dirt falling off of them.
Yeah, they
Fresh.
never
Okay.
had so the cilantro on. So of
Everything
course,
is fresh.
fresh.
So we were able
Fresh,
to just
Okay.
start
yeah.
making our own stuff by
Yeah.
itself.
Yeah.
And don't show me the recipe. Don't show me the recipe and I can get the ingredients fresh.
yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
I said,
Okay. The other thing that always people always talk about is what the other thing people always talk about is the water. Now, what's how's
So
the water?
So the water here is hard. It's got a lot of limestone and things, calcium. So it's hard.
Okay.
So that's one thing. The other thing,
Mhm.
yes, old pipes, things like that. So
Flint, Michigan.
yeah, so you really should not drink the water out, but it's not colored like that. Now, Flint, Michigan,
Oh
the
yeah,
water
yeah,
is
no.
It's not brown.
It's not that. Yeah,
No.
ironically, it's not as bad as the Flint, Michigan.
right. It's not
The
like
water's
that.
Okay.
better
So
than that.
so what we did here was
Mhm.
I looked and I found after we had a little bit of an incident,
Mhm.
you can get a small
You just throw that
ultraviolet.
out there with no incident.
Oh, we drank them.
Montezuma revenge
Binge.
is what they want.
So we had gotten a refrigerator and figured it was filtered water coming out the refrigerator. We go ahead and drink it. Yeah, it's filtering out the hard particles and stuff like that, but it's not filtering out the
impurities
the
or
living
bacteria or
bacteria.
anything like that.
Yeah.
So after that, I looked. You can find these small ultraviolet water treatment devices that you can hook to a
Yeah.
refrigerator. So I hooked it to
Okay.
the refrigerator. I tested it before. It showed that there was bacteria. I tested it after, and it got rid of it. So we can drink the water out of our refrigerator
Right.
here, or we go and
Okay.
get
And a lot of people put filtration systems
On the whole house.
In the house. Yeah, the whole
Okay.
house. Yeah.
House
Yeah.
filtration system.
right.
Okay.
So yeah, and the key thing
Okay.
is the ultraviolet light. Yeah, the filter filters out that, but it's killing those, the live
Microbes or
bacteria,
whatever's
whatever
in
in
the
there in the water.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
Do you have that also set up for like showers and stuff like that too?
no, you don't need it in showers unless you're sitting there. So, but you
Okay.
don't need it for that.
But if you had a
Okay.
whole house filtration system at the point of entry in the house,
House.
then
Yeah,
your
Yeah,
the
get a
entire
whole
house
house.
will be
we're
good.
good to go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I mean, we actually stayed at an Airbnb in San Miguel that had the
Oh,
whole
yeah.
house was filtered.
Nice.
okay.
The
Okay.
landlord where we were before put one in the kitchen, so,
So the
under the
kitchen
sink,
sink was filtered.
filtered.
So we
Yeah,
had
we
our
have that.
the refrigerator water was filtered and the sink, the kitchen water at the sink was
treated.
filtered.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
thinking about doing it here,
Yeah.
under the sink, so that we can, fill pots and stuff like that when we're cooking. Right now, we just
Yeah.
do it straight from the refrigerator and get water that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, we have
no,
one we have
Yeah.
one under the sink that we use
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah. The thing about it is that people want to say that Mexico is antiquated, and in some ways there's still some developing that needs to happen.
For
some,
sure.
Some
Mhm.
things, with the electrical grid and things like that.
And poverty is real.
Real.
If
Yeah.
in the United States
Is
and
it?
here, it's real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
However, there are things that they're doing here. You go to a restaurant, pay right at the table. I mean, this is just showing up in the United States. They come right
Yeah.
up, pay at the table. Modern grocery stores,
Yeah.
all these kind of things that they're doing here that, paying, with your phone, transferring money here from your bank account to someone else's to
Oh
pay
yeah,
the plumber,
paying someone.
paying somebody.
You can pay with your phone and the app and transfer money straight
Wow.
from your bank account to that
the
person
person.
right there on the spot.
Yeah. Yeah.
and then they see it, they get a message saying, "Oh, you pay me great," and you
Right.
can send them a receipt or whatever. But in the United States, if you use Zelle or something like that, they're watching how much you're sending, whatever, and it's like
Mhm.
it's a pain. So there are things about Mexico where people say, "Oh, no, it's not.
Yeah,
It is
Yeah.
not."
definitely. There's some
Right.
quality of life things that we've been enjoying.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah,
I
for
can't.
sure.
I'm spoiled now. I can't go back.
No.
I can't.
Yeah.
Doctors that make house calls.
Yeah, doctors make house. They give
Our
you
doctor makes
Wow.
house calls. They
Yeah.
make house calls.
So
It's
how-
built for the regular price. I have my doctor's phone number,
WhatsApp.
and I'm able to text her, text him, text them.
They
All
texted.
of
Right.
them. They text us to
They-
find out how you
They
doing.
texted her a couple of weeks ago. She was at the track with me, her dentist, and said, "Can you come in now? We're gonna go ahead and
Because
take
I had
care."
an appointment that was earlier or for later in the afternoon, but they were like, "Hey, I
Mhm.
gotta. You want to come in now? You know, it's like,
Yeah.
okay, hey, girl, hey, I'll be there. You know, like
Right.
Right. Right.
and state of the art facilities,
Facilities.
in terms of
Okay.
the
Nice.
dentist office and all that kind of stuff. No waiting.
I mean,
When I go to the
Okay.
dentist, I had to go to the dentist this morning. When I go to the dentist, I go in. I don't wait. I'm straight in the chair. Walk from the
Okay.
elevator to the chair.
right.
That type
Yeah.
of thing.
You know it, and this is the thing that this is why we're telling this, not only from a relationship, because it makes it easier from a relationship standpoint to be able to
Right.
deal with these things easier, but to dispel any kind of propaganda
Lies.
that they
Oh, yeah.
lies.
And
Benjamin
that's
had
why I was asking the questions that I'm pretty much asking is, a lot of people have all these questions and these misconceptions and all of these
Mhm.
things. And I'm like, okay, we have someone right here who can clear a lot of this stuff up.
right. So Benjamin, our son, had ear surgery
Yeah.
last year, and we went into this hospital, brand new, state of the art facility. We go upstairs. They put him in a room to get him prepped, and we're thinking, okay, so they bring him in here, so we'll have to leave out here. They said, no, you
Right.
stay in here. We
Mm.
stayed in the
In
room,
his private
private
suite room.
Mm.
That's part of the
Wow.
service.
So we got to wait in the air-conditioned private suite room with the TV and the remote. Would you want something to drink? Do you guys need anything?
Right.
It was like, what?
Wow.
Right.
What?
You
I'm
know,
like, what?
So we sitting up there on the couch, like, all right, yeah, let's turn the remote on.
Right.
We're waiting for Ben while he's having his surgery.
right.
And they wheel him back in
Wow.
and he recuperates there. And
Yeah.
after the anesthesia wore off, he was ready to come home and all
home.
that kind
Right.
of stuff. So it was like, wow, this is.
Yeah.
And then and again, his doctor texted us to see how he's
Mhm.
doing. Is he okay?
Right.
Does he have any discomfort? Or just kept in touch with us to
Right.
see how we're doing. It's like, wow, it blew my
Wow.
mind. So I can't go back. I can't go back to that.
And
Wow.
then
Wow.
also the cost.
Oh yeah,
That's what I was going to ask you. Okay.
You're
Much
looking at the camera.
I am. It's more cost effective here. I mean, for her with the root canal.
Yeah,
So we're talking, what was it?
$850.
$850 root canal and
that's
the
for
crown.
Everything.
The
That's for
visits.
everything. The visit
Wow.
and because they had to do mine in stages, so that was for the
Yeah.
whole kit and caboodle.
Right.
The root canal.
Wow.
I had to have another root canal. This was a couple years ago, which was one of the things that kicked off the Mexico conversation in the first place, because
Yeah.
in the States, now mind you, we had good government insurance.
Yes, we did.
Right.
You know, 15,000, 15 grand with insurance
Right.
for
Because they consider
a
root canal, but not only that, the part that is the root canal may be medical, but it's covered.
It's the crown.
It's the crown that they don't pay. Well, that's cosmetic.
Right.
What am I
Oh,
supposed to
my
put in
God.
my mouth after they drill this
Right.
hole in
Exactly.
and do what?
Wow.
Right.
So
right. So that was 15 grand they won. I was like, wait a minute.
and that was
By
for
that-
one tooth.
Right. And so by that time I had already linked up with our Exodus Summit community
Yeah.
or what have you. And they were like,
Yeah.
you should consider going to maybe Mexico
Elsewhere.
or to go and get it done. So I said,
Yeah.
"What?" And at the time I was working on my doctorate and was finishing up writing my dissertation and all that kind of stuff. So I kind of needed a writing sabbatical break or what have you. So I went to the cost of the airfare, hotel, The company picked
She was
us.
there for a week.
I was there for 10 days.
10 days, actually, yeah, because it got
Mhm.
extended.
10 days. They picked me up at the airport, brought me to my hotel, picked me up from the hotel, brought me to the office, did the root canal. I stayed there 10 days. My food, lodging, all of that came to $2,500.
Wow.
Hello? I was like, "Yeet." And the best part is state-of-the-art facilities, like I mentioned, that too, the work done was so fantastic, that I, to this day, unless I see an x-ray, I can't tell you which tooth it was because it looks
Wow.
just like all of, they perfect. Really, I was like, okay, they did a fantastic job. Let me find out these doctors here in Mexico got it going.
Wow.
The doctors here are fantastic.
Now, are there some people who don't do a good job? Yes,
Of course.
like you have
Of course,
anywhere.
like in the States.
Of course.
Do
Yeah.
your due diligence
That's right.
as far as that's concerned. But
Right.
it was
Yeah.
great. It was
Wow.
So now when you say, now this is what I'm trying to figure out. So now when you say $2,500 or $800 that you paid, is that pesos or
No,
is that
it's
No,
US,
dollars.
We're saying
USD.
so
USD.
US dollars? Okay.
Yeah.
USD. That was USD for the whole kit and caboodle.
Wow.
Nice.
And do you guys have private insurance there, or did you go through the
No.
We pay
No.
out of pocket.
Okay.
Pay out of pocket.
We pay out of pocket because the amount of the entire, like our daughter caught a little bug, thought she was dying, you know how that goes. And so we just, okay, well, let's take you to the doctor and see what's going on. The cost
Right.
of the entire visit, x-rays, all those kinds of things, is the cost of a copay.
Right.
Wow.
The entire visit.
Wow.
So if you're saying that a copay is $25, the entire visit, soup to nuts,
Mhm.
x-rays, tests, all that kind of stuff, is $25.
Right.
So it's
Wow.
I can't.
so that's why there's a lot
That's
of
just
expats who
mind-blowing.
just, you can pay for private insurance,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and make sure that you get the creme de la creme type of
Right.
healthcare or what have you. But
I'm sure that's a lot cheap. I'm sure that's pretty much cheaper than here
Right.
still.
right.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
So when you guys go to, like, say you go to stores and different things like that, especially being where you're at, is it being paid? Are you paying for stuff in pesos?
In pesos.
In pesos.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Mhm. So usually what we do is we wait till the transfer rate, the US dollar to pay Mexican peso rate goes in our favor. We
Right.
transfer some
Mhm.
money out of our US bank account down to our Mexican bank account, and we use
Okay.
that.
Oh, okay.
Or we use
Okay.
Capital One has no
Fees.
international fees.
Right.
So we
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
simply use our debit card, our
Oh,
US
nice.
Capital One debit card straight around here. That's
Okay.
usually what I
Okay.
Yeah.
would probably
Okay.
typically do. Mhm.
Okay. So you guys still have, not that I'm
US.
getting all in your business, but you guys still have your banks and all that stuff set up in America, and you just
Yeah.
transfer money down.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
It makes it a little easier, especially when we go back to the States, to have
Yeah.
that, to have that connection to still be able to transfer money, or if we need to send our son some money or something like that, or
Right.
it makes it easier to have it already there and just be able to
Yeah.
transfer versus having to do all these, shell switcheroo type,
Yeah.
move it out of
Yeah.
this account, get it over to that account.
Dude.
She's an old girl. She's like, put me
See-
down.
Yeah, this is Shelly.
She's like,
That's
put me
Shelley.
down.
Yeah. She
I know,
just
our
woke
puppy
up.
just woke up. Did you hear the
Yeah, I
puppy
heard
wake
her.
up?
Yeah.
Yeah, shaking. Yeah. So how was the visa process? Was that an easy process, and how long did it take you guys?
Okay, so if you're considering temporary residency, as either temporary or permanent residency, you start the whole visa process in your home country.
Right.
So you have to apply for residency in your home country. So in the States, we went to DC at the consulate in Washington, DC, the embassy or the consulate?
The embassy.
Yeah, okay. No, I think we went
it's
to the consulate.
Yes, it was consulate.
We went
Yeah,
to the consulate in the States. You apply and you can, and there are different ways that you can apply and show,
Mhm.
to be able to show to petition for residency. You can either come in as a student, or if you come in as a family, you're showing solvency based on economic solvency, how much money that you could come in as a business. You have to have all those business paperwork type things together to be able to do that type of thing. But when we chose to go the economic route to show that we make a certain amount of money, and it changes every year, so you might want to check because it goes up every year. Today's price is not tomorrow's price. So we make sure every January to check that out, because the price goes up every year, because it's tied to Mexican. It's tied to the Mexican minimum wage, and they raise their minimum wage for their people every year. So anywho, we applied in the States. We got our residency, and when you receive your residency, your visa, the temporary residency approval, you have 6 months from the date that is approved to get your butt to Mexico and show up to say that, hey, I've arrived. Now, once you've arrived, that's a whole nother story, and I'll tell you about that. But you have 6 months of time to get to Mexico.
Oh,
when we arrived, we presented our passports with our visas in them, and they stamp us as, okay, you are officially in.
Right, and the clock starts ticking.
And the clock starts ticking another 30 days for you to now show up at one of the what's the INM called? I was about to say it in Spanish. What's that? International Inmigración Nacional. Anyway, you go to Mexican immigration.
Right.
Okay.
And show them, okay, this is where I'm going to be living, and this is my address, and basically check in to get your permanent or temporary residency card.
Oh, okay.
And that's your ID for you to use within the country to show, that you're a resident of Mexico.
When you're traveling out, and then in especially, you come in and
I
belong here.
Fly. So now when we leave out of Mexico and we fly back home or whatever, when we come back to Mexico, we don't come through the tourist line. We come through the Mexican citizen line,
Even
which
though
is great.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and we're not citizens, but they consider temporary and permanent residents as.
The only difference is that we can't vote.
Right.
That's the only thing that we can't do. That they can do. That we can't. They can vote. Yeah.
So do you guys think you'll ever?
So the first year, you can you get up to 4 years of this residency process in terms of renewal of your residency. So you can do.
Okay.
Some people are able to get the full 4 years off the bat.
Especially if you're retired.
Yeah, if you're retired.
Oh, okay.
Are able to, like we did. We were given the first year, and then when it came time for our renewal, we just renewed for the whole three. The whole 3 years, because we're going to stay. We'll be here for the whole 3 years. At the end of that third year, our residency will turn into permanent. And
there's
no additional paperwork to show. There was no additional paperwork on the renewal either. So it's just, we showed that one time at the consulate to show our financial status and our paperwork, our bank statements, all that kind of stuff, where our money is coming from. And that's been the only time we've had to actually do that. Yeah. And that's the only time.
So that's going to be, that's permanent residency after 4 years?
Right.
Correct.
Now, would you guys?
Permanent.
Okay. So what? Okay. So there's permanent residence, there's temporary residency, permanent residency, and then
a citizen.
So would you guys ever become citizen?
Maybe
that.
I don't know. I mean, and actually, it's really probably
like I said, the only reason that you would want to become a citizen is just that you want to vote.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So maybe, I mean, you have to pass, like in the United States, you have to pass a test that you have to know a little bit of the history and be able to speak the language. Right. So maybe by 4 years, maybe I'll be ready.
Right. Yeah.
To be a citizen?
No, I'll be able to speak fluent Spanish.
I'm hoping to be able to speak fluent Spanish as well, because and I'm doing it because I've always wanted to learn Spanish, but the other reason, since we're here, it just
makes life easier.
And it's their country, their native language is Spanish,
right?
So respect. I'm going to speak the language because I'm going to respect your country.
Yeah.
Plain and
Right.
simple.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's what I'm doing now. I'm trying to learn a little bit of Portuguese because that's where I do plan. We plan. He's going to be coming a little later, but that's what we plan to be. So I'm trying to, and I know every visa is different. So what is my question here? So you have to get your permanent residency, you have to know the language. Is that
No.
one of the requirements? Oh,
No.
no. Okay. That's for the
Temporary
citizenship.
and permanent, you don't have to know the language.
No.
in order
Oh,
to get
okay.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
No.
Most of the
Oh,
time,
interesting.
permanent residency is offered to those who, because if you are permanent, they're considering that you're retired. And so they kind of
Gotcha.
figure you're retired at this point. So, you know, if you're planning to come to Mexico and still work, you more than likely would be steered in the direction of having a temporary residency with a work visa
Right.
allowed on the back end.
Oh,
Right.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, and also they view employment here as they look at it just like the United States. Are you taking jobs away from?
Oh, right, true.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
That's true.
So you,
Yeah.
and then there's a whole nother process of making sure you have an RFC, which is kind of the equivalent of a social security number because they want to take
They had a
taxes.
social security number.
Right.
Yeah, we have an RFC
Yeah.
here as well.
Mm-hmm.
But I would much prefer if I go back to work for a company in the United States or in Europe.
So do you guys plan to go back to work at some capacity? Angela, looks like you about to say, you had your mouth ready to say
Look,
no.
Angela say, I am loving the sabbatical.
The beauty of now, mind you, we saved to have a whole year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that year has stretched.
Yes.
That year has been able to stretch. That we've been able to save
He's
money.
gonna tear up
That
that
year
there. We
has
need
read.
somebody
You
to
gonna
go
go get him?
Let me go get this
He's
dog.
gonna go get the.
Oh, you can go with the dog. Okay.
But we've been able to make that year stretch to
Yeah.
almost 2. So we're like, okay, all right. Now this has been great. This has been fantastic.
Louis,
Okay, what do
It's
we
okay.
want to actually?
Okay.
Okay, all right. So I will definitely be
Yeah,
returning to working.
Stop.
Lamar, maybe because he's officially
Stop.
at retirement
Don't
age
fall.
period. So he still
Come on.
got some.
You
He
got
got
pee-pee?
some options.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Did you hear that?
Okay.
No.
I probably
I gotta
So-
go potty.
You probably will.
Yeah.
Okay.
I will.
I can hear. He
You
has
gotta
his
let him
mic
know
on.
he still got his mic on. We can hear everything he's
Oh,
saying.
Lamar, you got your mic on. You're live.
Easy before you hurt yourself.
Lord have mercy.
Oh,
Yeah. See you immediately.
Yeah.
So when
that
he
part
when
is actually nice. That part has actually been
Yeah.
nice that we've been able to
Good boy,
because
Louis.
of the
That's a good P. That means you
dollar
did P and
to
K.
Mexican peso
yeah.
Come on,
changing,
Louis, come on.
and we were able to also
Come on.
move from our previous house, which was a very lovely
Uh-oh,
house.
come on,
If you go
Coco.
to our channel, you can see the tour of the house that we were in. But we decided
Right.
we thought we were going to be downsizing
You
because
wanna
our
come up,
oldest
Which-
had moved to Mexico,
Chips.
got
Those
her
chips are good.
apartment. Our son was leaving for college. And,
Yeah, they do.
and our
You-
youngest is not far
Angela,
behind.
you might want to tell him we can hear
We
him.
can hear everything he's saying. He's talking to the
Lamar,
kids
I'm
now.
coming.
He can hear you. Your mic is live.
Okay.
So we decided that we would try to downsize out of
Yeah.
our out of the house that we were in, because we thought at that point in time that we wouldn't necessarily need that big a house. Definitely
Yeah.
when our youngest leaves, it would just be the two of us in this big old house. So we thought, well, we'll downsize. Oh, here go the littles. Oh, here you go. This is Coco Chanel. And
Hi,
this is
Coco
Louis Vuitton.
Chanel.
And Louis
Oh.
Vuitton.
She
Oh,
was the
oh
runt
my
of the litter, so
gosh.
that's why they're siblings out the same litter mate.
Oh my
Oh, it
gosh.
had
The names.
Oh, it had me.
Up, up.
Oh
You're
my
right.
goodness. Little wiggle butts.
So they can hear your whole conversation. Tell
We
you.
can hear everything. I was like, oh Lord, please don't let him say something that's gonna get him in trouble.
And this my wild guy will do it.
He does too much.
Oh.
He does.
Yeah, he looks
too
like
much.
he's a busy
You
one.
take Coco, I'll take there. I'll take it.
Yeah, he looks like
Here,
he's a
little girl.
busy one.
Yeah, he's my baby. He's my baby. Hi,
Hi,
puppy.
girl.
So they're
So
excited that they're out of the cage. So
I see. I see.
Don't be
Look at
kissing
that. Like,
her
oh my gosh, thank you.
Hi, sweetheart. Okay,
So
okay.
before I ask the last question of
Uh-huh.
do you have anything else you want to ask him?
I think
Oh, he
that's
can see
pretty
us.
much
He's looking like, oh.
Oh, hey,
it.
baby. So my last question. So when you sent over your bio, there's one thing that you said in here that I want you to kind of, elaborate on or elaborate on. What does it mean to you, both of you? What does it mean to have life and have it more abundantly now that you're in general, but especially now that you're in Mexico, living your best life?
Yes, yes, indeed. Okay, so that comes from John 10:10. And in it, it says, the thief comes to kill, seeks to kill, destroy, steal, and destroy.
Right.
I'm paraphrasing. But I have come that you may have life and have it abundantly. Here goes my preacher stuff coming out.
Right.
But it really, in 2020, I really began to just meditate on what does that mean? What does it mean to have life and have life abundantly? Because we've got stuff. People have stuff.
Right.
But that's not life abundantly.
Abundantly.
That's abundant stuff. That's not abundant life. And so for us defining, and I think abundant life would be defined differently for everyone, what you feel is valuable to you. But for us, abundant life is being able to spend time with our family, to be able to have, to be able to live a life that you love, that you enjoy, whatever that looks like for you. If it's you being with your grandchildren and that's abundant life, that's abundant life. If it's you being able to live in a shack on a beach and be happy, that's abundant life. So it's really about creating a life and a space in your life where you wake up every morning and you are grateful for just life.
Yeah.
And being able to live in a space of peace, of happiness, of not lacking. And I don't feel like we lack
we don't.
the things that matter, the love, the family, the connection.
What you doing?
That's to me, that's what abundant life looks like. And so that's what we Louis, stop. He's just trying to get over here. We're trying to create that and really help other people find how to create their life and how to figure that out, because it took us a while.
Yeah.
It took us a little while to figure out what was going to make you happy. You lose that in a sense.
Right.
That you can lose what makes you happy, figuring out what even makes you happy. And we know that there were a lot of couples that some of our friends who didn't survive the pandemic, some relationships didn't survive the pandemic when they were thrown together in the same room, in the same house for weeks and weeks.
24/7. Yeah.
Yeah. It was like, I don't really like you.
Right. Yeah.
And I don't even know who you are anymore or whatever.
Yeah.
The pandemic was wonderful for us because it gave us a chance to be here together and to love on each other all in a safe way. So that was wonderful for us. But for a lot of people, it wasn't that way. And so it got us to really thinking about what does abundant life look like? What does that even mean? And so that's what we set out on our channel to actually help others to discover.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
And that's very true when you say, when you think about the word abundantly, people do revert to things and being able to do things and go places and have all these material things. So that's very, abundant. You have to look at it a different way. For me, you can have. That doesn't mean you're happy or at peace.
Beautiful house, a beautiful 5,000 square foot house. We had beautiful furniture. We had a wonderful job. Lamar was working for for up at near NASA or at the NSA. Sorry, I said NASA. The NSA. Up there, top secret security clearance. We're 6 figures, all that kind of stuff. But is that really what makes you happy?
Right.
Right. Is that an abundant life? Is that what life is? Is that abundant life? So that really made us question and be able to really, is this what, I don't think this is what I'm supposed to be having. I don't feel a sense of peace that type of thing. Right now, we feel peace, we feel contentment, we feel satisfied, we feel, and with less things or what have you, but even still, we feel blessed, and you can wake up each morning enjoying feeling blessed, and that type of thing.
Now, the house that we live in, it's a beautiful house. It's a beautiful house. It's 3 levels.
God is good.
It's a very nice house. We've actually, it's furnished now because we furnished it.
Because we were able, with our residency. That's another thing I wanted to tell you. When you move during that 6-month time frame, you get, as a temporary or permanent resident, you get 1 shot to import all your stuff duty free. And so if you want to bring, because that's not everybody's ministry. Some people are 2 suitcases in a backpack. That was not our ministry. It was never going to be that. We're 6 feet tall. We're over. I'm 6
I've
feet
got
tall.
13.
Where am I
I
going to find clothes
shoes
in Mexico that fit these long legs? Not going to happen.
Especially in Mexico. That's going to be kind of hard to find clothes to fit you.
Not going to happen. Not going to happen. And what I'm not going to do is be naked in these streets. So we brought our clothes with us. We bought some of our most treasured possessions, like a box of letters that I had from my late mother that she wrote me while I was in college. Just letters in her handwriting, encouragement. You can do it, baby. I'm not throwing that out. The things that I got from my late father, I'm not throwing that out. Those are things that I refuse to part with. And his hobby, and my hobby as well, are what I would call curated. He's been doing this for over 20 years. So there are literally pieces and parts to his hobby that you can't even get these things anymore. What have you. So we wanted to bring, because that was a part of abundant life, to be able to do the hobbies that we love. If we were imagining what retirement looks like. And I asked this to my brother-in-law once, because he's now of retirement age. And I asked him back then, this was like maybe 10 years ago, well, he's not married, he has no children, and so what is retirement going to look like? And he's like, I was just planning to keep working until I just die. And I thought, and I was horrified, like, like that.
No.
And I could not, that bothered me so bad, because I was like, wow, that would really suck to live your whole life. And I have a friend whose father worked for the Postal Service and lived and worked his whole life thinking that, when I retire, I'm going to go to Vegas. And I thought, Vegas? Okay. I mean, if you like it, I love it, But he worked his whole life to just wait for that time to go to Vegas, retired, and 2 weeks later, he was dead. So it's so I was like, wait, so you saved up this money to go to Vegas and you never got to go to Vegas? That thing bothered me. So I really wanted to be able to, and Lamar and I both feel passionately about that, to be able to have those experiences now while I got good knees, while I, while my back doesn't hurt, while I don't have high blood pressure or anything like that. I can get and go and experience and enjoy some of the things that we really wanted to enjoy in our life. And so now we're about that mission of creating that as a full-time life for us to be able to have.
I can't say enough about the fact of the stress level that is down. Being able to maybe go out into my hobby room and work on my cars, or just that kind of thing. It's like someone who builds boats in a bottle, that take that time, and it just brings that level of stress down. And to make it the best is when I actually do go out and race, and
the community that he's
yes,
got
and
there.
the
Yeah.
friend.
Yeah.
These guys, they welcome me every time. They send me messages on Facebook and think, "Are you coming? Are you going to be there?" Or that kind of thing. And then they see me and they give me hugs, Lamar,
Yeah.
and they give me hugs and
Yeah.
these guys are fantastic. So uh, I don't feel like I'm in a strange place. I feel like I'm at home.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
at home. And that's important. You found a place where you feel like you're home.
Yeah.
And like
Yeah.
Angela said, there's no reason for me to go back to the United States.
Yeah.
None.
You're home. You
No.
found
Yeah.
home. So
And
that's what's
because I feel
important.
the stress. As soon as I cross into the States, I can literally feel I can't define it any other way other than you can feel the grind turning,
Yeah.
and you
Yeah.
can
Yeah.
feel yourself getting into this
Getting all
wound up
wound up. Yeah.
mindset. I there was a picture of me that I took when we were in the thick of the United States experience, and I thought I was looking good that day. I took me a selfie. It was like, "Hey, you look cute today," and I look at that picture. And you can literally see the stress on my face. You can see the that I was worn down and burnt out and all that kind
Yeah.
of stuff. Even though you think you're doing good, you're feeling. And now contrast that now. A couple of my friends have said, "You look like you're aging backwards." Stress ages.
Oh, for sure.
Oh
Stress
yeah.
kills.
Definitely.
And
Oh,
so
yeah.
just being able to
Definitely.
be in a state for at least almost 2 years now, where the stress
Yeah.
level has come down, has just
Come
been
down.
such a welcome relief. So that's why I was like, ooh, I don't know if I want to go back to her. Maybe
No.
I don't know.
No.
I don't know. Ooh.
No. And
Ooh.
that being in that environment of going to work every day, just
Yeah.
and even if we had on the retirement and money that would mean that we would have had to have established ourselves in a house that we have paid for, that we don't have to pay a mortgage for anymore.
Yeah.
That
Don't get me
whole
started.
situation there
Uh-oh.
is a mess. So, being here and possibly being able to purchase a home for our own, things like that has made things so much better. But just being here,
Yeah.
one of the things that I actually enjoy doing, but I'm glad I don't do anymore, is cut the grass.
Oh yeah.
We have somebody that comes and cuts the grass.
That was a whole mindset
Um,
shift in and of itself to have. Oh wow, we have there a lot of the homes here in Mexico have servants' quarters.
Yes.
Oh,
like-
okay.
What?
Yes, they have.
So some of our friends do have help that comes in to
Help.
clean their house every
Wow.
week or twice a week, or have
Yeah.
live-in help,
Right.
which for me was like, and these are
Wow, yeah.
very, rich, ultra rich people. These are
Right.
just regular folks.
Regular.
And I was like,
Mm.
you mean regular
Wow.
folks like us? I can have somebody come clean
Come in
my
and clean my house.
Yeah, and the
house.
servants' quarters is actually
What?
a small bedroom with a full bath,
Yeah,
which actually is
Wow.
that's what we
that's
made
my
it into his
hobby room, because
Hobby room. Okay.
if we had someone, they would come in every day and then leave every day.
So it was
Yeah.
a stretch. Like, oh wow, we need to let's just hire it. Everyone was like, well, you hire a gardener. Well, do it yourself. Why would you? Why would
Right.
you hire a gardener?
Right.
Wow. Okay. So we have a
Yeah.
gardener come and take care of our lawn for us. Like
Yeah.
that
Nice.
took me getting that used to that, because we're used to out there pushing on the lawnmower,
Doing it
Yeah.
yourself,
Yeah.
right?
clipping hedges and all that kind of stuff. It's like,
Yeah.
wow. So just the standard of living, the quality of life that we're able to have here in Mexico is vastly different from what we wished we could have had back home, but you couldn't
Right.
never have, because we couldn't afford that kind of thing in
Right.
DC.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
Exactly.
Oh my goodness. No.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
Oh,
those
good.
kinds of things make life here a little
Right.
bit more in the life abundantly
Right.
realm.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Definitely.
Anything
For
else
sure.
You want to ask,
I
baby?
think
It's
that's it.
Oh.
even the fact of not having to shovel snow anymore or do
Oh.
any of that
Mm.
kind of thing.
Oh.
Boycott winter, team boycott winter over here.
Yeah, yeah.
Have they got any shirts for that? That's what she needs to make a shirt of. Team boycott winter.
Boycott winter, right across the top.
Yeah. I never thought I would be in a situation where I enjoy being in a foreign country,
Uh-huh.
but I do. And it's because of the people, the environment.
Look at this
the
growth.
culture.
I mean, look at the growth. Look at the growth.
I'm trying to get him there. I'm trying. I'm working on him.
I mean, I get it. I get if you grow up in a
Because he was not that guy at all.
well, if you
At all.
if you grow up in an environment where you establish your roots, you have a neighbor. I mean, but you don't have neighborhoods like that in the United States anymore, where everybody knows everybody. I was telling, I don't know if I was telling Ben or Gabby the other day, we would have cookouts like on this weekend, which I forgot this is Memorial Day weekend,
Oh yeah.
and we would have the grill going. The McPhersons would
Yeah.
have the grill going. The Lees would have the grill going. The Moys would have their grill, and the Hawkins, and we would jump fences,
Yeah.
and the kids would play. And
I'm sure they have certain
you know,
parts of America that still have that.
not the one where we lived.
Not where we live.
No.
Yeah, no. But
Yeah.
Well,
sure
you know, in
it's
Harford
maybe
County,
in Alabama somewhere.
the only neighbors we had
Somewhere.
there were the Scrippers. The rest, they were on the. I'll say it out loud. They were on the racist side. I actually had to. Remember, I told you a story. I had to explain to Julie what affirmative action was,
right,
and she
right.
didn't. She thought it was just hiring black folk. No, it's
Oh
about
my
being
God.
fair.
Most white
And-
Right.
benefit from
Affirmative action.
actually, but
So
Exactly. That's a whole nother conversation, but yeah.
yes,
a whole nother conversation.
so being here, neighbors are being very neighborly, inviting you over for parties.
Oh yeah.
They
Yeah.
invited us over here for the
Nice.
Christmas party this past Christmas,
Yeah.
and enjoyed that. They, just very lovely,
It's
great
a nice
people.
sense of community.
Community.
That you're welcome.
Right.
In. And we have not had any kind of feeling about us being here. Now, some of my white friends,
Yes.
those who are non-melanated, have had
Yeah.
a different experience because
Oh.
some white people have brought in with them
Yeah,
a colonial mindset, a colonizer type mindset, and have
Gotcha.
treated Mexicans in a
Oh,
way
did
that
you hear
is
the harmony?
yeah,
That was funny.
and then
Oh,
and treated Mexicans in a you
That was
serve
good.
me, get my water kind of
right.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Mm.
as opposed to and no, I'm not learning English. You speak English to me.
English to
Even
me,
though I'm
right.
Oh my gosh.
You need
Right.
to speak English to me. And
Right.
that type
Yeah.
of entitlement type
Right.
of thing.
Right,
Yeah.
right,
And some people who have experienced some pushback,
Yeah.
in terms of that.
right.
That has
haven't.
not been our case.
No.
We have been
Right.
welcomed with
Yeah.
open arms. Like,
Right.
and as a matter of
Right.
fact,
Okay.
I'm kind of tickled now that when I go into places, they don't assume I'm American. They
Oh.
literally and this has maybe been the last maybe 4 months or
Yeah.
so,
Mhm.
where
Mhm.
I have to tell them I'm American because
Mhm.
my Spanish is getting better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
So I'm
okay.
like,
Go on, girl.
most of the time they either think I'm from Brazil, or
Okay.
they think because I don't know where they're getting that from, or some person thought earlier that I was from Haiti, and I was like,
Oh,
Oh, okay.
okay.
not from Haiti, but I'm from the United States, and they go like, like what?
You blended in real well. That's what it is.
Right.
You just blended in.
We're blending.
Yes.
Yeah.
Blending.
Yeah. No problem here.
Good.
Yeah.
Good,
It's.
good.
I think this is probably the best move that we've ever made.
Oh, Angela, look at you getting extra kudos. Look.
I take it.
Well, I
He's
want to
right,
thank
he's
you
right.
guys. Huh?
He's right. He's right.
Oh, but I want to thank you guys. We want to thank you guys for coming on and enlightening folks and,
Yeah.
and just giving us a different perspective because, we always hear the propaganda.
Yep.
but to hear it from someone who's actually living that life and living it more abundantly,
Yes.
it's good to hear. It's good to hear. And, I might have to get him out there. We're gonna have to come out there to visit you guys and
Hey, our
hang
guest
out
rooms, we have guest rooms.
You got guest rooms.
They stay ready. We keep our guest rooms ready.
okay. Another place for us to go visit and
Exactly.
until we move to Portugal.
Until we move to Portugal.
But thank you guys again for coming on,
Thank
and
you
we'll
for
definitely
having
keep in
us.
touch.
Yes,
Keep in
for
touch.
sure.
We'll definitely keep in touch, and
We'll do this again.
we'll do it
Yes,
again.
absolutely.
So
For sure.
Good.
you guys have a great day, and
Thank
we'll
you.
talk to you
Thank you.
soon.
All right.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
So thank you guys for joining us and listening to Lamar and Angela, giving us the rundown on really what's going on in Mexico. So please remember to like, share, and subscribe, and hit
And
that
you can follow
notification
us too
bell.
on Lamar and
Oh yes,
Oh,
go
yeah.
ahead. Yep, I'm sorry.
Yep, put-
Go ahead. Put your stuff out there. What's your handle? How can
we
people
are
get in
on
contact?
social
Or
media. We are on social media on Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram as Lamar and Angela.
Yep.
That's it.
yep, there's is easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, check them out, you guys. They have
Yes.
a YouTube channel as well, so please check them out. And yeah, that's it for today. So we will
All
see
right.
you guys next week. And thank you again, Lamar and Angela. We really appreciate you guys.
All right.
Take
Take care.
care.
See ya.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.